Hello, my loves. I'm Ellie Frost. Thank you so much for being here, for liking, subscribing, sharing, bringing your energy, bringing your love. Thank you so much for everything you're doing to just collectively be here with me and us in this journey to rapidly healing from narcissistic abuse, getting the information and the tools and strategies that we didn't know about, right, in order to have the breakthrough, coming into authentic power, our sovereignty, our truth, right, and being able to create our best lives, restore our lives and create what we want. That's the goal. So I do want to talk today about some things to know about what the narcissist does, but also how to deal with it. And this strategy I'm going to give you today is very simple. Let them dig their own hole. Let them dig their own hole. I tell my clients this a lot, right? So what happens is, don't you think, I mean, just as an aside, don't you think, isn't it so crazy making that they're the lunatic, right? Acting absolutely outrageously. But the way they condition us is to question ourselves. We think we're the problem. I told you, like, I wouldn't admit my parents abused me till I got to at least 30. And I was told several times by therapists because I thought I was the problem. Yeah, they're acting outrageously, but they make us question and doubt ourselves, living in this constant fear. Now, what that does to us is dysregulate our nervous system. So we jump into validating ourselves, you know, trying to convince someone who has got no interest, by the way, in resolution, just in your nervous system dysregulation. So we want to disarm these narcissists. And the best way to do that, if you are in a situation with them, I'm not suggesting that you trigger them. Honestly, if they're, as much as you can, just walk away, right? You can't make sense of crazy and you can't out evil evil. It's a losing game. It costs you energy. It costs you time. It's a waste of your life force, right? And they will siphon you because you're never going to be as good at them as being manipulative and evil. And they're going to push your imagination of what you can imagine anyone could do. But if you are having to deal with them, because you might be, you've got to let them dig their own hole. So your silence disarms a narcissist. We are so quick to question ourselves. This is the most unbelievable part of this psychological warfare, is that the first thing most of us, myself included, will jump into is justifying ourselves, validating ourselves and doubting ourselves. So I teach you, when you come into sovereignty, when you come into authentic power, right? Self-love and self-esteem is a byproduct because I'm being true to me. I'm in an absolutely sovereign relationship with myself. I'm in my body. I'm in my truth. I've got my mama bear, papa bear, you know, protecting my inner child, setting my boundaries so that I'm not questioning myself. I'm true to myself. The brainwashing and narcissistic abuse is designed to make you constantly question yourself, right? Which is a great strategy for them because you don't question them. Yeah, I wasn't questioning the lunacy of my parents' behaviour or my partner's or business partner that I ended up homeless after working with behaviour, or the people that bullied me. I wasn't questioning them to start with. I was questioning me. And then see that what that does is erode your self-love and self-esteem. I am telling you, right? Self-esteem and self-love is natural to you when you're in yourself, right? We're making this harder than it is. And again, it's the root thing I want you to get to. Authenticity. If you're being authentic, you'll love yourself. When you cross your values and boundaries, it ruins your self-esteem. It does give you shame and guilt, right? So the quickest way to restore self-love, right, and your self-esteem is to act in integrity, which means don't cross yourself. Don't cross your own values as much as you can. Easier said than done. But what I'm saying to you is, although a lot of you may think you've got a problem with self-love and self-esteem, a lot of it is because you're in environments and situations where you don't know how to hold on to yourself and be authentic. When you're authentic, self-love's a byproduct. Self-esteem's a byproduct because you're being true to you, right? When you let someone cross your boundaries or you cross your own boundaries, you don't trust yourself anymore. Right? And again, then you're not going to trust anyone else. So all these things get resolved by coming into our authentic power. So do join Sovereign if you can. We do deal with this here, and I'm going to keep sharing about it. So you're going to get the information here as well. You know, as on a you know, core level. So you're going to understand what I'm saying. So let them dig their own hole. What would that look like? They're going to try and trigger you. Right? When they try and trigger you, just want you to come in your body. You could say, could you explain that again? What you want to do is not lose yourself. I didn't quite understand. Could you repeat that? You could say, so what I think you're saying is this. Is that true? You know, when they are faced with what they're doing, they literally disarm. So strategies like that work. If you know it's a load of rubbish, I want you to use I language, because when we go into defense mode, you know, we always get into conflict, and they'll definitely, you want to throw them off, right? Not throw them into aggression. Throw them off means disarm them, rather than put them in that, you know, they get angry and just throw everything back. So if you say you did this and you said this, and which is what most people do because we haven't been taught communication skills, it will often just cause a fight, and then they'll just have a tantrum. Not because they're a child. I don't like comparing dangerous demons to children. That is completely minimizing a huge problem on the planet. But because they're aggressive and they're full of rage. So that they're refusing to heal and take responsibility for. So you want to disarm them. Yeah. You can say things like, that's not how I see it, but leave it there. I understand how you feel. You're allowed your own perception. Most of us are fighting and they want to fight. This disarms them. So it's part of kind of like, I suppose, the grey rock. I teach diffusing statements, ways to diffuse energy so you don't get into conflict. What we want is not in conflict, and we want your nervous system regulated. You're dealing with a very poisonous being a lot of the time, which means they can say something that can cut you to your core. Their words are like swords. They know how to hurt you so much. So I really need you to disarm them and walk away as quickly as possible. Please don't get off on trying to be right. Please don't get off. You cannot win with these creatures because they will out-evil you. So some people think like, oh, you know, and I hear people boasting about things like that, and they're like, oh yeah, you know, I got them. You never get the narcissist. They keep score on everything. It's a ticking time bomb, and one day they'll try and do something destructive to you, even worse, and they will say, they'll have it in the back of their mind. They never, and it's so unethical, right? Because you could have been just trying to explain yourself or being a rational human being, but if you offend their inflated ego, because no one's allowed to question them, they're entitled to whatever they want from you, right? It makes them angry, and at some point they will pay. There'll be a payback with them. Generally, they're so petty, right? But the challenge with that is they can be incredibly cruel in a way that you can't and don't want to be. So, you know, this, like, I got one up on them. No, you didn't. You didn't. You never will, because they don't care. They don't care how you feel. And yeah, you can hurt their ego, but like, there's no win in it. You know what I mean? It's either means they're going to come back with something worse. You've gone down to their level, which you don't want to. You know, you're not that. Don't ever be that. What makes them most angry is when you get strong, you rise, and you can't be moved in your integrity and ethics. So really, like, remember, they're trying to dysregulate your nervous system. Your job is to stay in your body. Like, do what I do. Hands on the chest. I'm in my body. I'm breathing. You can block out what they're saying. You can focus on your heartbeat. You can focus on, you know, it's all going to be bullshit. Why are people spending ages working out if a narcissist is telling a lie? If they're speaking, they're lying. They hate the truth. Everything is a lie. And any ounce of truth they tell you normally is to lead you in a certain direction or make you question whether they're lying or not. You never get the whole truth from a narcissist, ever. Most of us who live in integrity will overshare the truth, and our explanation, they will give you as much as they need to manipulate you for the next thing. It's always a half lie, a half truth. They've got no commitment to truth. They hate truth. Truth is like holy water that, like, literally just the demon doesn't do well in. So disarm them. Ask questions. Let them dig their own hole. The reason we get so in love with them is because we're making up a story that, one, they're messing up your biology and your chemistry, but there's not much connected conversation. So like, it's an illusion you're in love with half the time when you realize it, right? It's not because they've really connected deeply with you intimately. They've said what you need to hear. Let them talk more. You want to come into your body more. This disarms them. It freaks them out. If you can sit very powerfully, very comfortably in your own silence, yeah. Just go into your solar plexus in your stomach. You can put your hand on your chest, on your stomach. Yeah. But be present. You're not in fear, because they make you scared of what you'll do. Well, they have power over you because of how you're going to react. But when you become someone who doesn't react, right, who actually realizes I'm dealing with a lunatic, yeah, that I've been thinking I'm the lunatic, that I'm explaining myself to someone who's just completely not even acting rationally. It's got no interest in. They know what rational is. Again, the masters know exactly what they're doing. That's why when they love bomb, they know how to be nice. That's why with the flying monkeys, enablers and allies, they know how to project an image. They know what good behavior is. They're choosing not to do it. They know what you want on your birthday, anniversary. They know how to treat you like you're special. And they know how to devalue you and make you jealous. Very early on in a relationship, the narcissist will be throwing in someone else's name, doing subtle things to make you jealous. And again, often it's like death by a thousand cuts, because the beginning stages are so subtle that your self-esteem is getting eroded little by little. But the biggest way in which we destroy our own self-love and self-esteem, yeah, is when we cross ourselves. So you want to come back into your truth, yeah? Stop crossing yourself. You can feel when you're doing something that's out of you. They're trying to take you out of you, shell you out so they can merge with you. They literally do try and merge with your soul, right? So you want to chuck that out. And the way you do it is to fill yourself up with you, your authentic truth, your authentic power, to not leave and self-abandon anymore. We self-partner, we don't self-abandon, right? The more you do that, the more you'll trust yourself. The more you'll trust yourself around other people, because they can't push you. People can't push me anymore. You know, I was scared of being around people because I didn't know how to defend myself. And so therefore I was open to attack. Are people still going to try it on? Sometimes, yeah. But I'm not taking it personally anymore, right? So this is where you get to, but it's step by step. The worst thing that we do to the thing that lowers our self-esteem so much is not so much what they do to us, it's how we respond and how we let it make us feel, right? Which I know is not conscious, it's subconscious, but it's still like what we do to ourselves. It's the shame we feel for being in these relationships. It's the shame we feel for what goes on behind closed doors. It's the shame we feel for letting ourselves be degraded, objectified, dehumanized, right? So it starts with self-partnering. That can be as simple as when you're talking to a colleague at work. Guys, when you're talking to a colleague at work and you need to leave, just say, look, I really need to go now. But not explaining yourself. Not anyone deserves an explanation for you. We have to learn this. No one deserves an explanation. And the more we can get used to that, we can honour each other much better. Like if I don't want to go out on Friday night, it's not because I don't like my friend, but I don't need a guilt trip over it. We've got to start being much stronger in our authenticity and allowing each other to have the same. Yeah? You can say, it's my birthday, I'd really love you to be there if you can make it. That would mean a lot to me. We can be honest. Yeah? But primarily, for people, especially from abuse cycles, you've got to honour yourself first. Stop people pleasing, like I said in one of the videos yesterday. And if you don't want to go to that birthday party, say, look, I really do value you as a friend, but like I am going through a rough time and I've got to take care of myself right now. Yeah, we get to communicate. We get to be honoured. Stop living under someone else's life, right? To try and be nice, to try and do what you think is the right thing. What's right for you? No one parented you, probably, if you're here, or maybe they did. But self-parenting is something we've got to do as adults. I look after Ellie. I was saying in Sovereign, I don't shop at grocery stores anymore. Like I said to you, I get the deliveries on everything. But like, I hate being in grocery stores, right? And like if I go in there and it's too crowded, I don't want to be there, I let Ellie go home. If she's filled up the cart, I just peg it back to the shelves and I go. If the line's too big, I let her. I don't try and fix her. I don't try and rationalize her. I know there's a little girl inside of me that just needs to be heard sometimes, yeah? It doesn't have to make sense. I've got me. Yeah. And then later the work I do with people in personal development, right, and things is like, then we can look at reprogramming your brain and what beliefs you want to have. But the first thing you've got to do is just come into you. That doesn't know. If Ellie wants to punch the narc in the face, no, I don't let her do that. Yeah. She needs to go outside, go in the car, scream loads of swear words sometimes, like, you know, and get it out my system, get my emotions out. I don't hurt the humans. Do not hurt the humans. Anything that hurts the humans, I don't recommend. But I do let Ellie be Ellie. I do stop giving her a hard time. I do let her eat the whole thing of ice cream like yesterday when she wants to. I do know there's a little girl inside of me that needs to be parented that wasn't. And I am very conscious that I take care of her now, right? And that also means I don't let because I don't treat myself badly, I don't let anyone else do it now either. You know? If it's not how I would talk to myself, there's no way on this planet anyone else is going to talk to me like that or treat me like that now. Right? Keep commenting. Please share. Please like. Please subscribe. I love you guys, and I'll speak to you soon.